Warning, this episode contains sexual references and innuendo. Consider this PG-13ish. Also be warned you may be turned on by a talking cartoon rabbit voiced by Professor Sprout from the Harry Potter movies. Yes, that's this lady.
Hey, Mr. Beaver. Why are you beavering around? Haven't you heard of Cadbury's Caramel? See, as the thick Cadbury's milk chocolate melts with that dreamy caramel, you just have to take things really easy. Looks like somebody else could do with some. Take it easy with Cadbury's Caramel.
Looks like somebody else could do with some.
Hi, I'm Austin's Animals, collecting all things furry, and today's episode is a tribute to all things Caramel Bunny. Yes, it's the year of the rabbit, and why not kick things off with a fitting collector's tribute to one of my favorite animated anthropomorphic characters ever, the Caramel Bunny from Cadbury Chocolates. In the 1980s, the Cadbury Chocolate Company gifted us with Caramel Rabbit, a provocative sexual character that debuted in these wonderfully hand-drawn ads. You just saw one at the opening of the video, and pretty much all of these ads go the same. A woodland animal is hard at work or stressed out, only to be relaxed and soothed by the beautiful curves and chocolate of the Caramel Bunny, as she fittingly tells the animals in every ad,
Take it easy with Cadbury's Caramel.
Okay, so the ads are anything but innocent, and they've got all sorts of weird innuendo and sexual imagery. Don't even get me started on this beaver one with him, gnawing on the tree and all, and the wood falling over. But there is something kind of wholesome about these ads. Hear me out. They're not gross out, they're not disturbing, they're not nihilistic. The Cadbury Bunny isn't using these guys or her looks for anything. She's just finding nice, hardworking men and simply telling them to take it easy with some Cadbury's chocolate. Man, I'm a hardworking guy. I like cartoon bunnies. I'd like to take it easy with the Cadbury Bunny. And it looks like I finally can, because there's merchandise. Yes, merchandising. I wouldn't be talking about the Cadbury Bunny if there wasn't an opportunity to get some action figures.
And if we show the photograph of this bunny, because this bunny, for a lot of men of a certain vintage, will bring back all sorts of utterly inappropriate memories. How did this come about? What are your memories of voicing this ad?
I had quite a deep voice. I think it's gone up a bit as I've got older,
Right.
but I had quite a deep, sexy voice, and I used to do what I call take-home wanking kit records.
Tell us about those now.
Well,
So being a bit of a cultural icon that turned on the entire United Kingdom, the Caramel Bunny has had a lot of merchandise and promotion over the years. She's a bit of a folk icon over there. Pretty tough to get in America, but I'm proud to say that I have the complete line of Caramel Bunny action figures from the 1980s by Ideal Toys, and we're going to open them here on the show. For 40 years, these ladies have been trapped in their plastic encasement, and just the thought of freeing them gets a little warm in here, don't you think? These vintage toys are begging to be opened out of their packaging. Excuse the DVDs and clutter, but these figures don't stand up on their own. Everything's just kind of falling over as I speak. Oh well. Gotta just, take it easy with Cadbury's Caramel. As a matter of fact, one of them actually did already escape. See if I can find her here. But the glue on one of these has already seeped off. See, the bubble has already just completely collapsed and the figure just fell out. So don't feel bad about me opening up these vintage toys. The card backs are melting into the figures. They need to be freed. Plus, they're not that rare if you're lucky enough to live in the United Kingdom, where you can go to the Cadbury amusement park and buy all the Caramel Bunny merch you want. But here in America, we can't take it easy. These toys are tough to find. But before we open up the figures, I want to talk about a Cadbury Caramel Bunny plush I had previously owned. This does come from the Cadbury World Amusement Park as a souvenir item to buy, but man, they really did not get that likeness right. Just look at the nose, the eyes, face is just terrible, and the chest doesn't contain her distinctive heart pattern, which is a shame. I guess it's a little fitting, given that the mascot they have at the amusement park is a bit of a creepy interpretation of the character. It's not exactly what I would call sexy or pretty. How come the merchandise made in the 1980s is so much better? With modern advances, you'd think we'd have a great plush doll of the bunny today. But oh well, maybe I'm just a little too stressed to need to just,
Take it easy with Cadbury's Caramel.
There are 4 exciting, beautiful ladies we will be looking at today in Ideal Toys' Caramel Bunny toy line. From what I can tell, these 4 figures make up the entire line, and there were no playsets. However, Ideal did make a lot of toys of other Cadbury characters, as the Cadbury company is known for their colorful mascots. But for today's purposes, we're just going to be looking at the beautiful Caramel Bunny. It is time to break the seal and free them from their carbonite hibernation. Here are all 4 figures. Each is made of a heavy, durable PVC plastic, and thankfully the figures don't have any of that sticky residue that appears on a lot of 80s figures. They look quite sharp and like they just got produced yesterday. Now, let's look at each of these fashionable ladies in our exciting fashion game show. Welcome to Beauty Bunnies, where each bunny will be judged to find out who is the most beautiful. Today's 4 contestants are all Caramel Bunny and all exactly identical, so they will be judged by their pose and pose alone. Which contestant do you think is striking the most winning pose? Well, you don't get to decide. Instead, our lovely judges are, and let's meet the judges. Straight from Zootopia, it's world-famous rabbit cop Judy Hopps.
It's called a hustle, sweetheart.
Straight out of the lackluster Sing movies, it's Nicki Minaj.
Hips and thighs. Hips.
And the original OG furry heartthrob herself, Lola Bunny.
Look, I'm so sorry about Space Jam 2. That wasn't me, okay? That was the other one. That was the other bunny. Blame Zendaya. Blame Zendaya.
Let's look at our first bunny, standing quite beautifully as he is presenting a heart to you. What does this heart represent? Does it represent her undying love and attention devoted to you? Or maybe a box of buttery smooth, creamy chocolates? Look how great she looks from all angles as she stands proudly showing off her awesome bunny bod. Will you take the heart? Will you take the offer and be her lover? Bunny number 2, striking the classic Betty Page pinup pose, looking into a compact mirror as she admires her own good looks. She knows how beautiful she is, and she doesn't need to tell that to you. She knows that herself, as she has full confidence in her body. Look as she beautifully sits down and leans, showing off her curves from every angle. What an absolute bombshell of a bunny. Contestant number 3 with, a fiery attitude. Look at her angry eyes and smirk. She's got the sassy hand on hip, while the other pops outward. She's got real attitude, striking a pose that screams high maintenance, but still irresistible, as no man, or woman, I don't judge, can resist her fiery, sassy demeanor. Bunny contestant number 4 with the seductive lay. It's an absolute timeless classic, but it's still as sexy of a pose as ever, as she invites you to have some chocolate with her and maybe just take it easy for an evening or maybe a romantic night. Judges, what did you think of all 4 bunny contestants? Say you're sorry for Space Jam 2.
That wasn't me. It was Zendaya. Please don't shoot me. It was Zendaya.
Hips and thighs.
Okay, it was me. Space Jam 2 was the greatest mistake of my life. I regret everything.
Well, seeing as our judges got a little preoccupied, I decided to take the competition into my own hands, and I've decided that the male pinup pose is my favorite bunny PVC, although the runner-up does go to the seductive lay, as it best represents the commercials, but the pinup to me is just so perfect. It's such a classic sexy pose and defines the bunny character. Now, in the latter half is the heart pose, and the very end is the sassy pose. I don't have an issue with these poses, it's just that they don't stand up well on their own, and I like a PVC that can hold its own. I think each pose was chosen very well and represents the Caramel Bunny's character, that she is loving and sweet, but also pretty sexual, seductive, and kind of mean. I'm surprised these were made as PVC toys marketed to children, as they are a little risque in how they portray the character. Heck, the commercials definitely aren't for kids, so who are these for? I think these figures purely exist because of the material they were made out of, PVC. So on the right is a Beach Bunny's PVC that was available from Carl's Jr., and yeah, I thought the similarities were funny, but the 1980s gave us tons of PVC toys, Smurfs, Raisins, everything that anything was a mascot was a PVC. Heck, they even made Noid PVCs. I'm sure Cadbury said, hey, we have a popular cartoon character, and PVCs of cartoon characters are selling like hotcakes. So they went ahead and made these, even if the character really isn't for kids. It's such an odd product, but I'm so happy that they exist. Sure, it isn't an articulated figure of the Caramel Bunny, but they sculpted her in the only 4 poses you would ever want to pose her in, so I think we got something much better than an articulated figure. And while the plushes don't do a perfect job of capturing the character, these PVC characters forever immortalize one of the greatest advertising sex symbols for furries everywhere. God bless the Caramel Bunny.
Hey, Mr. Beaver. Why are you beavering around? Haven't you heard of Cadbury's Caramel? See, as the thick Cadbury's milk chocolate melts with that dreamy caramel, you just have to take things really easy. Looks like somebody else could do with some. Take it easy with Cadbury's Caramel.